welcome to Wisdom Wednesday, where we're going to continue talking about decluttering your environment. And on Sunday, I talked about a book by Marie Kondo talking about decluttering your environment all at once in one day. Now, since that video, I've realized that that doesn't fit with everybody's lifestyle. And I actually don't know a whole lot of people that can clean or declutter their whole house or their whole apartment in one day, me included. So I did some researching and I found some other methods of decluttering, and a lot of them will match up to the personalities that you studied with me earlier in the Myers-Briggs personality test. So we're going to check out those other methods that I found and see how they match up with your personality, and we'll see if we can find something that's right for you for decluttering. Let's go on with the study and the research. All right, so here's the first thing that came to my in my research. It kind of surprised me, called The Gentle Art of Swedish Death Cleaning. Have you heard of that? Well, I heard that not only is this a book, but it's also a series that you can find on Peacock TV. Do any of you watch that? So what is that, Swedish death cleaning? Well, it says how to free yourself and your family from a lifetime of clutter. It's been named the Swedish death cleaning because it's really about cleaning out, easing the burden on your loved ones after you're gone. So it's a gradual cleaning process, decluttering, and it's for sentimental types, older adults, and those who value legacy. So it's gentle, practical, and a bit funny throughout. So when I'm getting ready to pick a book, I will look at the reviews and both the negative. It's funny, I usually hit the negative ones first because I don't want to waste time on a book if it's really that bad. So after reading the reviews, I found out that it's a lot of people feel that it's mostly autobiographical about the author's life and the kind of memories that she's forged through life. And it's really a guide to how to declutter, but not a how-to. Some people found that it was cold, that she had a cold and cool attitude towards some things that Americans might feel more, how should I put it, more sensitive about. I'm not going to go into detail about that. So then I was looking to see if there was something that might be more appealing, although this book is the bestseller. It is a bestseller. I shouldn't say the bestseller. It's a bestseller. And so I looked around and I found another one. This is the other one that's called Swedish Death Cleaning Made Easy for Americans. And I thought to myself, why do the Americans need a special lesson in Swedish death cleaning? So I looked a little harder at this, and I found a little explanatory page. So this is the explanatory page in this second book. I'm not sure it's going to be all on the screen, so I'll read what I can here to you, because I really wanted to know why did we need something special. So it says Swedish death cleaning was born in a country where homes are typically smaller, simpler, and far less cluttered. In Sweden, people grow up with a cultural appreciation for moderation, and the idea of letting go is deeply tied to practicality. There's simply not much room, physically or emotionally, to hold on to what no longer serves you. Everything has its place, and once its purpose is fulfilled, it's let go with quiet dignity. But here in the U.S., the story is a little different. We live in bigger homes, often filled with decades of memories and just-in-case items. We have basements, attics, garages, sheds, and even storage units off-site. Each space becomes a container, not just for things, but for the emotional weight those things carry. So this kind of makes it clearer why some people thought that it was a bit of a cold attitude, because the Swedish are ruthless when it comes to getting rid of things that no longer serve you. And that can include not just things, but also animals. So a lot of people were very hurt or touched or offended by that. But this is a cultural difference between the Swedish and the Americans. And sometimes you just have to be open-minded to different cultures, which is something I'm going to touch on a little bit later, because it made me think about what do other cultures do, and I'll get to that later. So between those two, you might want to get the Swedish Death Cleaning Made Easy for Americans, but I would probably go with the first one because it's so popular that it even has a Peacock series. So maybe one. If you like that one, try the American one after that. Okay, moving on to the next one. Okay, so the next resource I have is called The Minimalists. And this is Joshua Fields Milburn, Ryan Nicodemus, and T.K. Coleman. And they do have books, but they're more known for their podcast called The Minimalists. And the very first episode of their podcast is called Decluttering. So you might want to tune into that podcast. I think you can get it on Audible. At least that's what I'm seeing about the podcast. And they are Emmy-nominated Netflix stars and New York Times best-selling authors. So in the minimalist writings or podcast, it's really a life philosophy about minimalism in many areas of life, not just decluttering. They don't offer a detailed how-to manual like some other methods, but their books, especially one called Love People, Use Things, show how living with less can lead to more freedom and purpose. So their take on decluttering is only keep what adds value. Ask yourself about each item, does this support the person I want to become? And it's best for life changers, idealists, and simplicity seekers. And here's a picture of that book. It's a New York Times bestseller. Love people, use things, because the opposite never works. I just love that title, and I'm intrigued by this book. And so look into the minimalists if you want more than just decluttering, but doing minimalism in your whole life. Okay, and here we have Decluttering at the Speed of Life, Winning Your Never-Ending Battle with Stuff by Dana K. White. And this book offers realistic solutions for real-life messes. It's basically work at your own pace. It's a funny and forgiving type book, and no perfection needed. It's best for overwhelmed people, people with ADHD, busy or disabled people. Sounds like it's aimed at me. And so again, I looked at the reviews. The 5-star and 4-star reviews, those people really loved it. But there were also the negative reviews where people said it was repetitive, had cutesy language, and that it didn't offer anything new. So being as I haven't read it yet, it's still something that I might have to look into because of who it's for. Okay, and on to the next one. Okay, and here we have Sink Reflections by Marla Silly, who's known as the Fly Lady. I know I've heard of her. I haven't looked at much of her stuff, but what I have looked at sounds very promising. So she's got books and also a .net website, which I'll take a look at with you. Her system is to build routines to tame household chaos, and she uses email missions, timer-based tasks, and a shiny sink habit, where supposedly if you shine your sink every morning, put you in a good enough mood to do the rest of the work. And it's best for people who love structure, people who like step-by-step, and families that can work together. It's mostly quick decluttering daily. Work at one zone at a time, like just the kitchen or just the living room. And I like the idea that she made a phrase out of the word chaos, CHAOS, standing for can't have anyone over cure, which I think is that's just great. So let's take a look at the other book that she has. And here it is, The Chaos Cure by Marla Silly. And it says, clean your house and calm your soul in 15 minutes. That sounds like it's right up my alley. Who doesn't want to do quick cleaning? Maybe even a zone at a time. So Marla Silly is the fly lady, just to remind you of that. Things that are fast, that's what I like. So let's move on to talk about how you can figure out which one of these would be best for you. So here I'm taking a quick look at the flylady.net website. Kind of looks like it's set up magazine style. Lots of share buttons. There's something called the Fly Shop. And you've got tools, package bundles, books and audio and digital downloads to shop for. What happens if we click on today? Get the Fly Lady mobile organizer, color-coded calendar, set reminders, access from computer or mobile device. This week we're in Zone 5 and our habits for June is drinking water. Go to your launch pad. So there's lots of fun little things to look at. This looks like a blog post. Sprinkle your words with love. Summer camp. Reading the Bible in a month. Maintaining balance. Missing that authority. Pamper mission. And other things you can look at. Baby steps. Frequently asked questions. How to contact. Control journal, zones, Fly Lady TV, radio, lessons, Fly Lady favorites, Ask Fly Lady. That's pretty cool. It's all on one landing page. You get your pretty much everything you want to look at right there. So that's flylady.net. I think that's where she spends most of her time with people. It seems like it. Just a quick look, and I think I have another book to show you before the quiz. Was going to go to the quiz. Oh, before we do that, I wanted to bring your attention to an extra one that I found that I'm thinking about getting as well. It's called The Minimalist Home by Joshua Becker. He's a leader in minimalism movement. And so this one is more about getting rid of one item a day. It can be an item or it can be a drawer full of items. A bag full of items is still considered one item. And it's a room-by-room guide to design your home to what actually matters to you. So it helps you create a life with more focus and freedom. So this is what I would call a one-a-day type guidebook. Whereas the Fly Lady does by zones. So that's the end of the books that I wanted to present, and now I want to take you into a quiz. Okay, let's see if we can point you in the right direction as to which of those resources might help you in your decluttering. It's going to be based on your personality traits, like we studied before. So question number 1. It's A, B, C, or D. Pick only one. How do you feel when you're surrounded by clutter? A, sentimental. Everything holds a memory. B, annoyed. It messes with my routine. C, distracted. I can't focus. Or D, overwhelmed. I freeze up. Now, if you're like me, more than one of these probably sounds right. But pick the one that you think most resonates with you. For instance, for me, B, I feel annoyed, and D, I feel overwhelmed, both. But of the two, I think I'm mostly annoyed. So I'm going to pick B on that one. How about you? And number 2, how do you prefer to tackle cleaning or projects? A, slowly and mindfully with thought. B, with clear steps and systems. C, all at once when the mood strikes. Or D, one small area at a time, casually. For me, I like steps. It's something to follow. Because if I go casually and when the mood strikes, it'll never get done. So I think I'm going to go with B again. All right, let's see. Go down a little bit. Move it up. Yeah, I think I'll move it up. In fact, let's go this way. That's a little straighter. So 3, what motivates you to declutter? A, I don't want to burden others. B, I need order to think straight. C, I want to live freely and creatively. Or D, I want to feel less anxious in my space. Let's think about that for a minute. I'm again struggling between B and D. Yeah, clutter makes me feel anxious, but I also sometimes can't think straight. I think for this one, I think I'm going to go with D. I feel less anxious in my space. I want to feel less anxious in my space. Okay, if you're ready, let's move on to number 4. How do you react to strict rules or checklists? A, I'm okay if they're meaningful. B, I love them, give me structure. C, I resist them, I need freedom. And D, I ignore them and do my own thing. So yes, what I did was I studied the personality traits in the Myers-Briggs test, and I made up the quiz based on what I was reading there for each of the questions. Let's look at your results. Which one of these letters did you circle the most? Hopefully you've got a majority somewhere, or even 50%. Okay, so move it up a little. So if you had mostly A, try the Swedish death cleaning because it's about thoughtfulness and legacy focus. If you did mostly B, try Fly Lady, structured routines with daily habits. That's what it was. Mostly C, try the minimalist if you're idealistic and you have value-driven simplicity. Or mostly D, then you try Dana K. White's method, which is forgiving, casual, and deals with real life. So I think with me it was mostly B, so it tells me to try Fly Lady. What I like about her things, I'm going to pull out my notes again. I like something that's fast because I'm very busy, and I can get lost when I'm decluttering, especially with photos. I can get lost in time going over photos and things that mean a lot to me and memories. I want things that are fast. I can take care of them lickety-split. And so I'm attracted to the Fly Lady stuff. Especially that book, The Chaos Cure. I think I'm going to get that one. And the extra one that I told you about, The Minimalist Home with Joshua Becker. I also like the idea of getting rid of one thing a day, whether it's one item or one drawer full of stuff. So I'll probably get those 2 things, The Chaos Cure and The Minimalist Home. What about you? Did any of those books or anything on this quiz strike a chord with you? Let me know in the comments. And here's a quick little chart I made up based on the Myers-Briggs personality tests, matching the type to the method, decluttering method, and why it fits. So we've got ISFJ, INFJ for the Swedish death cleaning, for sentimental types who value legacy and kindness. We have ESTJ, ISTJ, going for the fly lady, people who love structure and practical daily systems. And INFP, ENFP, the minimalists, idealists seeking space for creativity. ISFP, ESFP, Dana K. White's method, flexible real-life decluttering at your pace. ENTP, ENFP, zone or one a day, which would be Fly Lady or the Joshua Becker minimalist home book. Spontaneous types who dislike routines. And INTJ, ENTJ, minimalists or Marie Kondo, efficient, goal-driven thinkers. So I'll hold it there for a second if you want to see if I can get it all in there. You want to do a screenshot on that. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so there was one more thing that popped into my head while I was studying these decluttering methods, and that was, I noticed the first one we studied on Sunday came from Japan, and one that we studied today came from Sweden. So I'm thinking, well, if they do one thing and they do another thing and Americans are another way, what is going on in other parts of the world? So I decided to research that too, and I found some interesting things. I'd love to tell you about them, but I want to pull out my globe so I can point to the areas in case any of you need a geography lesson. I know sometimes when a country is mentioned, I don't even know where it is, and I've studied geography a lot. So it wouldn't hurt to look at a globe while I'm talking about these things. Okay, I've got my trusty globe up close and personal. And let's take a spin, stopping at Japan, right there in pink. So for Japan, we talked about the KonMari method, the Japanese art of tidying up by Marie Kondo, I think it's Condon, yeah. The focus on the KonMari method was keep only what sparks joy, and the values were respect, gratitude, and simplicity. The tone was spiritual, reflective, and orderly. It was popularized by Marie Kondo. This method includes thanking items before discarding them. Next, we go to Sweden, which is going to be up here in yellow. So hopefully you're not getting seasick, because I have to hold it like a selfie stick for my camera. So up there in Sweden, death cleaning, I can't even pronounce it, but I think it's Dustaning, something like that. Their focus is clear your home to ease the burden on loved ones later. The values are responsibility, mindfulness, aging with dignity. And the tone is gentle and legacy focused. And the notes on this that I wrote is that it's often done in older age. It's meant to preserve only what truly matters. Okay, let's move on to France. Down here in the green. Excuse me. So, France is about elegant minimalism. It's almost like I could have guessed that. Elegance and France go together. So their focus is quality over quantity. And their values are on beauty, refinement, and simplicity. The tone is chic, understated, and curated. So French decluttering tends to be more about style and ambiance than strict minimalism. And over to the US. I'm going to have to back up for that one. There you go. Right in the middle there. So our focus is to reduce clutter to improve productivity and well-being. And our values for decluttering are practicality, self-help, and success. And the tone is motivational and results-driven. And popular methods we've talked about is minimalism, fly lady. And there are professional home organizers, like the home edit. You will have to Google that one. And lastly, I want to hop over to Russia, since I have experience with that. That's also at the top in green. So I'm just going to pan over Russia there in green. Huge, huge country with 11 time zones. And I've been there a couple of times. I went to, see if I can zoom in here, St. Petersburg, which in those days was Leningrad. And I've been to Moscow and Novgorod, just under St. Petersburg. And so for Russia, due to post-Soviet scarcity and culture, they tend to keep and repurpose items more than discarding them. So they're the ones that believe keep useful things just in case. So their values are for practicality, preservation, and thrift. And their tone is cautious, resourceful, and space maximizing. So people in Russia will use every possible space to stack things away. Like they have too many things, but they stuff the closets all the way to the top, and any cupboards, under the bed, you name it, they are stuffed full because they don't want to get rid of things that might come in handy someday. And so there you have it. That's our Wisdom Wednesday for today. And just remember that there's definitely, no matter where you're starting, there's definitely a method for you for decluttering. And I hope you'll let me know in the comments which one appeals to you. And if there are books that you think that you're going to buy, or some websites you might try out to help, or even YouTube videos, let me know if there's anything you have to offer in the decluttering realm that I might not have heard of. That'd be great if you could share it with me. And as always, if you have any questions or comments about decluttering or anything else that we've talked about these past 4 weeks, just leave your question in the comments, or you could write to me at barb@selfhelpfaq.com. You can go to the Self-Help FAQ Facebook page and contact me there for any questions, because I do have another follow-up Friday coming up that I could feature your question and hopefully to help you. And if you're interested in getting the Blue Journal, that link will be below in the description box. And also, if you want to go further with me in the Blue Journal book, you can sign up in the membership site listed below. I'd be happy to keep helping you in the same vein as I have here. And it's been wonderful going through the book with you. I hope that you've been able to glean some insights from it, or got some help and moved along in one of the areas of your life that we went through over the last 4 weeks. I appreciate you stopping by very much, and I hope to see you on Follow-Up Friday. So take care, have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you on Friday.